Africa will be directly affected, I believe. As you rightly indicate, Syria has been a major transit hub for Russian military equipment and supplies, going primarily to Libya, but also as a transit stop for materials going into the Sahel and other parts of Africa. And so I think in the short term, and we may have already seen this, the equipment that Russia is trying to rush out of Syria, some of it's going to Libya. And so the warlord Khalifa Haftar will be a short-term beneficiary with more Russian support. Russia has an air base in Libya. It has access to a naval facility there. And so, Khalifa Haftar is the main patron, the main ally that Russia has in Libya. And Russia's been using so-called Libyan National Army as a wedge to try to gain an enduring foothold in Libya, and therefore enduring presence on the Mediterranean Sea. With Russia's losing the Tartus naval base in Syria, which was their only Mediterranean naval base, gaining access to that port in Libya will be ever more important at this point.
Well, they've got this war going on in Ukraine, and that's been a pretty heavy tax on them. Perhaps they didn't expect the Ukrainian war to go on for as long and suffer as many casualties. And now with the fall of Syria, Russia's sort of in a no man's land at the moment. Can they handle sort of both situations? And of course, Iran is certainly factored in this as well. So when you think about other options, does not the value of Africa kind of really go up and locations there for each of those countries?
I think obviously Ukraine is the top priority for Russia, and a likely scenario is that those troops and equipment from Syria will be moved back to Russia and used in the Ukraine fight. However, Russia has quite valued the access and influence it's gained in parts of Africa, even during the Ukraine conflict. Russia, with relatively limited resources, has been able to help prop up some of the Sahelian juntas in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. This has opened up more influence than it's had previously. And so Russia has seen a geostrategic advantage of that.
And would Egypt play a very big factor for Russia and or Iran at this point now?
I think Iran will indeed have to pull back from some of its ambitions in Africa. Egypt has been not as close to Russia. It has tried to maintain friendly relations with Russia. It gets some arms from Russia. But Egypt has also maintained close ties to the West. And Egypt has not been an active supporter of Russia's war in Ukraine. I anticipate that Egypt is not going to jump into the breach now and present itself as a close ally to Russia, and then be used as a pivot to some of Russia's ambitions in Africa. That said, Russia and Egypt have been collaborating in Sudan in the effort to keep the Sudan armed forces in power in the east of the country. And so I see that collaboration continuing.